Podcast, and it's report card season. So it's the last of the goal plan standings, and then on the next one we'll go playoff positions. We'll do it reverse order. So we'll do lowest playoff team, then highest playoff team, then runners up, and ultimately World Cup champion Montreal Victoire. So the Toronto Sceptres were 4th in the goal plan standings, even though they didn't really have an opportunity to earn draft all the points, but they still got classed 4th in the standings regardless. So that meant they would have gone 4th in the draft had it not been for expansion. So, wow, the Sceptres, how the mighty have fallen. How the mighty have fallen. So, across their 30 games, the Sceptres had a record of 10-1-6-13. So, 10 regulation wins, 1 OT win, 6 OT losses, 13 regulation losses, for a total of 38 points. Good enough for 5th place in the league standings. They only scored 51 goals. Woo! I'm telling you now, that's the lowest in the league. Even Seattle got more goals than them. Yep. And they conceded 72. Right, I just want to start there. 51. 51. Are we sure this is the same Sceptres teams that went on an 11-game win streak back in the inaugural season? 51? What the hell had gone on in TO this year? Like, seriously, what the hell? It's like, you took so many steps backwards. Well, it's the first time they've missed the playoffs in franchise history. First time ever. They have still yet to win a playoff series. In fact, they are the only team, now obviously Montreal had their ticket, no, they are the only team that has made the playoffs that has not won a playoff series. We've done it, Ottawa's done it, Montreal's done it, Boston's done it, Toronto's not done it. Yeah, only team. But seriously, only getting 51 goals, that's bad. That's bad. And you saw how bad the offense was this year, because there were moments in the season where on back-to-back nights they were struggling to get even 2 on the board. It was just, where did that offense go? Because I mean, I know we talked about how going into the season that we felt Toronto would be probably stuck in the basement because we thought they did crap handling expansion. But yet somehow they got 5th place. They got 5th place! I know, right? Can you two remember where they were going into Milano Cortina? Because I forgot. They were 7th! 7th! 1 for the bottom! Yet somehow they got 5th place overall. Despite low offense. Holy fuck! Yep. Say it again. Holy fuck! Yep. I mean, the thing is, though, the Sceptres, they've always had, like, slow starts. But their second half has really been what's bolstered them. But I kind of felt this time round, the damage that they inflicted on themselves in that first half was just too insurmountable. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was just too insurmountable. And while you can't blame them for trying to make some sort of push towards the latter half of the season, it was never going to work. It was never going to work, especially when on the last day of the season, they go up against Ottawa, both those two teams fighting for that last playoff spot. And just for the record, if TO had won that game regulation, they would have gone through because they had the tiebreaker over Ottawa. So that's what would have happened. TO would have gone through. And who knows? Would Montreal pick them over us? Who knows? Who knows? We'll never know. I think they would have done. Yeah, I think they would have done. Yeah. Wow. And that is what, for me, is sticking out the most, is the fact that you only scored 51 goals, the least in the league. The fact that both expansion teams got more goals than you this season, that is literally staring me. It's literally staring me in the face right now. It's just, I can't hide away from that. The big problem for me was their power play. Oh, tell me about it. Last season, Toronto's power play was red hot. It was like dynamite. You did not want to go into the penalty box against Tio because you knew there was a very 99% chance of them getting a power play goal. Yep. It was just red hot. And that is what helped them get to second place last year. That got them the protection slot. Yes. That got them the protection slot. What happened this year? It just went stone cold. Don't start singing! Don't you dare! Why did you quote the song lyric then? That's one of my favourites of Demi's. Don't quote one of my favourites of Demi and don't expect me not to sing. We can play it afterwards. But not right now. But it literally, their power play just went stone cold and it barely did it again. And it just like, where's the attack? Where's the aggression? Yeah, it's like, seriously, what is going on? What is going on? This power play was red hot last year. It was your big USP last season. What has happened? No. What's happened here? Yeah. Yeah, and specialties we know can play a huge factor in this league. Mm-hmm. So if you can find ways to get your power play rolling, that could be a huge boost. So you can try to lock down the points you need to get a playoff spot. But yeah, I mean, Tio, the power play this year was nowhere near compared to what it was last year. It just wasn't. It just wasn't. It just wasn't. It just wasn't. What did you make of Raygan Kirk how to make that big step up? Because obviously, Kristen Campbell was gone in expansion, taken by Vancouver. Raygan Kirk, we knew he was going to have to make that big step up. I did. Okay. I actually was really impressed with Raygan Kirk this season. I still wonder what would have happened if she had been injured in last year's playoffs. But we won. I know. But I just wonder, would it have been a more competitive series if she had been in there? We'll never know. We'll never know. How we did with the cup again? I know. We'll never know. So, I felt she did brilliant. And there were moments where she was really great and on top four. The problem is I don't think she had a lot of support from her teammates. Yeah. But I do. Yeah, that's better. There are plenty of times where I feel like she's really keeping control of this game. She's giving them a chance to win this game. But she's not getting the support she needs from her teammates. The offense was not there. The defense was not there. And yet she's there trying her best to keep her team well and truly in this game. It's not working. It's just not working. So I don't know what's gone wrong. I just don't know what. But I think she did well for her first year being a star netminder. She made that transition brilliantly. I think next year she could have a really good season. Yeah, she's slowly making her way up there the ranks of the best netminding. She just needs a few more under her. Yeah. Oh, she'll get there. She'll get there eventually, and who knows? Maybe finally give Tio the playoff success that they've been lacking. But they've ever faced one team in the playoffs, and it's us. But yeah, just yeah. So I mean, I think that minded okay. How it'll go next year, I don't know, because obviously they haven't got anyone reliable to back her up. We'll see. Now I know my husband's pointed out about. Oh, she's gone. Oh. Sorry, I'm on the floor. Sorry. Okay. I know my husband. Go again. I know my husband has pointed out about power play I also want to point out a big flaw Toronto had this year. Her mice! Oh, yeah. Her mice. The Sceptres on her mice this year were shit. Oh, lazy. Don't use all the English language, but they were. Actually, no, I can't deny that, because obviously you compare that to the Marlies, who, in the AHL, who, of course, won the Collar Cup this year. Didn't see that coming. Did not see that one coming. Did not suck on the Marlies. They did brilliant on home ice, and obviously also managed to capture the cup on home ice. Yeah, but yeah, the Sceptres was just what the literally. Every time their opponent came in, they kind of thought, "Oh, this actually been a lot easier before," because they're just not, because the Sceptres just not giving their home fans, their money's worth. They really struggled on home ice, even in Hamilton, even in Hamilton, just up the road. On the Take Tour, they were the home team. They got a good shine of Sceptres fans in Hamilton, and even still lost in that. Yep. They even still lost in that one. Yep. So the Sceptres really struggled on home ice this year, and I don't know what went wrong. But for me, seriously, I know we talk about how you get the World Cup, you need to have at least a couple of robots on your belt, but also, home ice is also really important. Yeah. Well, the Sceptres have never managed home ice advantage well, have they, in their lives? Oh! Right, it's true. It's true. And I just don't know if a lot of that star power was there this year. It kind of felt like it kind of fizzled out. I mean, yes, they did lose Sarah Nurse, but I just felt... Well, you still had a lot of firepower there. Yeah, it just kind of fizzled. It's going to fizzle even more, because obviously, Watts is now gone, Matt Collins is gone, Comp is gone. Yep. Elaine She's now gone. So you think the Sceptres basement again? Is that the prediction going to next season? But who knows? Who knows? They really did struggle this year, and you could tell, you could see that the Sceptres were really struggling to try and find that rhythm that they normally have, that normally gets them over the line, gets them into playoffs. And I think you both said it brilliantly. The damage that they inflicted on themselves in the first half was just too much. It was too much to recover. Yeah, because I remember last season, the Sceptres struggled that first half, but yet somehow in the second half of the season they managed to recover and got themselves in the protection slot. Whereas this year, similar situation, you struggle in the first half, but you try and pick up in the second half, but it just isn't working. And I did feel that the Sceptres have inflicted too much damage on themselves. I mean, good on them, but at least trying to get themselves back in the conversation, because throughout that second half, it was pretty much obvious that us, the Big 12 Elite, had locked in spots 1, 2, and 3. And the question was who's going to get that fourth spot. And the fourth spot was pretty much a 4-horse race between the Charge, the Sceptres, the Sirens, and the Golden Eyes. Fair? Fair. And neither of those 4 teams really, at any point, had literally got a real stranglehold on that spot. It kept jostling. As the season got close to winding down, the race then tied to a 2-horse race between the 2 Ontario teams. And you just knew that last game of the season, which is becoming an annual tradition now, it's always becoming an annual tradition that the Sets and Charge must meet on the last day of the season. It's always becoming an annual tradition, so I don't know how their fans feel about that. I'll tell you now, I would hate it. I would hate it if I had to keep seeing the same team on the same day of the season again. I would just hate it. Yeah, and I just felt in that last game they showed no fight. They showed no fight, because you had every chance to win that game and get the last spot, because you would have got in on the tiebreaker. Because I'll tell you now, the tiebreaker was regulation wins. Okay, so I'll give you those stats now. Okay. So Toronto had 10, and Ottawa had 9. So if the Sceptres had got that win, they would have got the last playoff spot over Ottawa. And in that game, I saw no fight from the Sceptres. I just saw no. It was almost like the fight had gone, when really it shouldn't need to have gone. You should have been really trying to force yourselves to get back in the game and literally put Ottawa on the ropes and make this battle for the last playoff spot a worthy must-see game. So at the end of the day, Sceptres, you did have the opportunity to get to playoffs, and you just let it slip through your grass. Just like that. Yeah. Because, I mean, so really we need to see more fight for the next year. Because we know you're capable of it. We know you're capable of doing good things when you can. It's just this year. Kind of a bit of a bad year for the Sceptres. Yeah. And we kind of felt that from the arc, because we just felt going into the start of the season, we just felt they're going to struggle with the ripple effects of expansion. We were sort of right. No, we said basement. Yeah. Patio, going into the year, we said basement. We said basement, and they got nowhere near the basement. We thought they were going to fight for gold plan, but nah, they kept themselves in to the bitter end. They kept themselves in to the very bitter end, like Ottawa's done the last. Like Ottawa did in the first 2 seasons. Yeah. Well, all 3 seasons actually, because obviously it was all the bit of them clinching their spot this year. Yeah. No. So hopefully for Tio, this is an opportunity to go back to the drawing board and work out what you need to do to turn it around. Because obviously it's all changed now. Because obviously Troy Ryan's now gone, which I personally didn't see happening. I thought he and Gia Kingsbury were pretty much, a lock in step. They were literally like a team. If one goes, the other would go. Like obviously we saw on the national scene in Canada, because obviously they both left their positions with Team Canada. So I thought, that's what I always felt. No one would she dare fire him. I figured he goes, she would also go. So a little bit interesting. That's a little bit surprising that she is still in her position with the Sceptres. But and maybe it's what they needed. Maybe the coaching change is what they needed. Because okay, yes, well, Troy did give them a league title in year 1. He never really got to the ultimate prize. Nope. No. And they never really looked good in either of their 2 playoff outings either. We always had a good, even though in year 1 we had to do their best. We always felt in control of those series. So I still think the best is still yet to come for the Toronto Sceptres. The fact they've now made this coaching change, that's not going to help in the long run. Power play needs to go back to what it was. Oh yeah, because the power play was their big weapon last year, as my dear partner here said. That was their big weapon last year, and it literally just went cold. They really struggled to get those power play markers. They really struggled, and they also massively struggled on home ice. It's like, seriously? Yeah. You want your building to be seen as a building that people are scared to go and play in. Yeah. Like the Tanker was in San Jose, and can still be. But literally, I felt a lot of teams this year, they came to Cocolosi and thought, oh, it's 3 points here, isn't it? Because I just felt the Sceptres didn't show that much fight on home soil compared to when they went out on the road. Those 2 games against Seattle, 40 laugh. Yeah. Oh yeah. Literally, when the team was at Seattle, literally it was like blink and you miss it. That's how action-packed those games were. Yeah, you're off your seat! Will you go up that way a bit? Literally makes you go off the edge of your seat. Literally, yeah, like that. Like that, perfectly demonstrated. Literally off the edge of your seat. Honestly, yeah, T.O. really are struggled this year. They were just. It was like we saw a completely different team. They just weren't themselves. They just weren't their normal selves. We didn't see the T.O. that we're used to seeing. And it's not like they got knocked out and a different team went in, it was basically like swapsies. Because our Montreal from last year got back again this year. It's basically just, swapsies with Boston. So it wasn't like Tio got knocked out so someone like the Sirens could rise. It was basically just switcheroo with Boston. So, yeah, but honestly, Tio, they've got a lot of work to do. They've got a lot of work that they need to do between now and November. Can they do it? We'll see. But I think a coaching change may be, just maybe, what the doctor ordered to really help the Sceptres find what they once had and get that back. Because this team's got so much star power in its roster. It really should make a good run in the playoffs. But they've yet to do that. They've yet to do that. And Montreal winning the cup this year does not help them. Because obviously now, everyone's going to look at Tia and go, oh, well, they're the only team that's yet to win a playoffs that's been in the playoffs. As mentioned earlier. Because it was made a big deal about Montreal this year. It was, yep. So it would be a big deal made about Tia if Tia gets back to the playoffs and it's just Tia. But yeah, honestly, the power play needs a lot more work. And they need to find ways to do better on home ice. Those, I think, if we're looking about factors going into next season you need to improve on, it's those two right there. Right there. Yeah. Literally, those two right there. That is what you need to work on going into next season. We'll see what happens. We will see. We'll see what happens. I think they can easily rebound. It's just they had a bad year this year, and everyone has a bad year. But it's a lot more hard to deal with than in other areas of life. Tia will be back. It's just work on those things we talked about. You've got Raygan Kirk back, and she's now had a full year being a starting netminder. So, she'll definitely improve next year. I definitely see Raygan Kirk improving a lot next year. Like I said, now she's had that full year being a starter under her belt. She knows what it's like. She knows how to handle it. I think it's going to be great next year. I think she will. Yeah. So, I know for Sceptres fans, they'll look at this season and think, oh, it's a bit heartbreaking because we got so close here. But you did have a lot of good moments. You did have a lot of good moments, and you did manage to keep yourselves in a lot of games because Raygan Kirk kept you in a lot of those games and gave you the opportunity to win those games. It's just your offense was lacking, and I think that's also something you're going to need to work on more next season, because this Toronto Sceptres team we saw this year was completely different to the one we've seen in the last 2 seasons. But hey, it was a bad year. It was a bad year for the Sceptres. They can learn from it and improve. And like I said, maybe a coaching change was exactly what the doctor ordered. Okay, so that's going to conclude this report card for Toronto. Until next time, take care.